Hey there, it's Aaron, and it is a little close to 11 on September 13th, 2016. And I thought I'd make a video because it's been a while. I'm going to get to what's in the description there, and no lies, I'm going to be talking about this. Just got it today in the mail. ABBA, the albums. Yeah, this is everything that ABBA's made. I know that my musical tastes can all be summed up into one genre, and that can be just rock, with some exceptions with being Michael Jackson, Prince, a couple of others. Let's start out with, I first got into ABBA about around the time that I was getting into all the bands that I'm into now, like the Beatles, the Stones, and so forth. The first time I had heard of them, I saw a picture of the 20th Century Masters album of theirs in a, I think it was a Walgreens or a drugstore, a drugstore at least. And I just wondered, okay, who are these people? There's two guys and two girls, and I was asking my mom later on, I said, I'm 10 years old at the time going, who are they? Oh, they're a Swedish group. And also around the time, I found out a little bit more about them. And I think I heard a couple of their songs, and I thought that they were catchy. So I remember staying over with my grandparents, my dad's parents, and I think they treated me, they liked giving the grandchildren gifts, like on the spot. Like, we went to a store like Target, Walmart, or whatever. Pick whatever you want. How can you not love that when you're a kid? So one of the things I picked out was that 20th Century Masters disc. Wait, I'll go. Hold on here. Yeah. I don't know what the case is, but this is the disc, because I was looking for it. And then probably a year later, I was getting more into all the hard rock and heavy metal stuff. So there were times where I thought, okay, ABBA, yeah, I really like some of their songs. They're catchy and they're cheery and whatnot. And then there's the other half of me that thinks that they are overrated and annoying, and they're not cool. So it was sort of a love and hate relationship, but over the years I've been hearing a lot of good things said about ABBA from, like, some of the most unlikely sources or some of the most unlikely people. My number one pick for the person who I think no one would have suspected of him being an ABBA fan, and that is Lemmy. Yes, the late, great Lemmy Kilmister. Yeah, you can go online. There's only one video of him talking about ABBA and the Beatles in the same video, but if you watch the Lemmy documentary and watch any other interviews with people that talk about Lemmy, or even at Lemmy's funeral, which streamed live earlier this year, one of the speakers, I think he said something like, you didn't, when ABBA was playing, you did not make Lemmy upset. Yeah, that persuaded me to just go on YouTube or go online and just stream all 8 of their albums and then take notes or just write my thoughts on them after I was done listening to them. So I'm going to go inside this and pretty much go through the entire ABBA discography in the process. So as for the box set here, you get the ABBA logo here, all in blue, on all 4 sides here in the front, and then the back. There are the albums, saying which songs they feature, and then breaking it down to what's in this box. And what is in this box, we already read it on here, but you get a booklet with 40 pages, which gives you a timeline of all the Swedish releases, of all the ABBA songs and albums, and when the promotional video is filmed. So it's a nice little thing to have, with some pictures of the group throughout the years, and it's a nice little thing to have there. And then the albums. all in very thin sleeves here. First up is Ring Ring. This one was not released as an ABBA album. It was released with all their first names. Of the 8 albums in the set, this is my least favorite. But you gotta cut some slack because, you know, it's the first album, and, you know, this is what they came up with. But still, there are some good songs on here. Ring Ring, the title track, good Phil Spector-y type of song. Disillusion I like. People Need Love is a great song. But yeah, it's their first album, so I don't know if they knew what they were going to do with this or what was going to happen. Or, I mean, it's their first album. You got to cut them a break, and for what it is, it's okay. All right, their second album was Waterloo. This came out in '74, and for Ring Ring, that came out in '73. Waterloo, better than the debut, but it still has its weaknesses. The title track, instant classic. The other songs, Singing in the Palm Tree's okay. King Kong's song is silly, but it actually, again, has some great guitar playing on there. Dance is another, Dance While the Music is still goes on. Yeah, that has a little bit of a Phil Spector vibe. Alright, their third album, 1975. Self-titled album. This is where the hits come in the form of Mamma Mia, which is the first song on here, SOS, and I Do, I Do, I Do, I Do. There's some really good album tracks on here. Bang a Boomerang is another Phil Spector-y song. I really like Hey Hey Helen. It's like the glam rock opera track, and the guitar riff on that one is particularly impressive. It just has like a glam rock strut that I'm surprised Bowie or Bolan never picked up on. Then we come to 1976, Arrival. This is when they hit it big. And I think of the 8 studio albums they made, this might be my favorite. I feel like it's the more well-rounded album. It's just song after song. It's a wonderful, wonderful album. The album opens up with When I Kissed the Teacher. That one sort of makes me laugh because I'm sure, you know, any sort of story or scandal involving a student-teacher relationship, it's been going on forever, but it feels like in the last couple of years there have been an awful lot of stories coming up like that. And here's ABBA 40 years ago singing about it so innocently. So I kind of like that. Dancing Queen's on here, obviously big hit for them. I like Dum Dum Diddle. Knowing Me, Knowing You, great, great song with great vocals, and I love the guitar lick after the chorus. Money, Money, Money is good. Tiger. If I had to pick a weak song, I would have to pick Why Did It Have to Be Me? It's just a weird blues rock song from ABBA, which, I don't know. It's not a genre I would imagine them doing. Okay, 1977, yeah, the next year, 1977. The Album. No, that's what it's called. See? The Album. This is a good album, and from what I see online, some people think this is their best one. It might be. I said before that I can't really decide if it's Arrival or this one that I like more. They're very, very good albums. I think this was when they were at their peak. You start off with starts with Eagle, which is a good song. Take a Chance on Me, one of their hits. One Man, One Woman. It's good. Name of the Game. Thank You for the Music. In terms of any deep tracks and whatnot, Hole in Your Soul is a funky track, and Thank You for the Music is all part of a quote-unquote mini musical called The Girl with the Golden Hair, and it's part A, and then the other two parts being I Wonder, Departure, and I'm a Marionette. Really good album. Really good. This is not a bad place to start either. I think Arrival's a better place to start, but this is a good follow-up. 1979, 2 years later. Voulez-vous. Pretty sure I'm butchering the pronunciation of that, but whatever. Yeah, this was their next album. Not bad. It would be a lot better if it had the disco removed from it. Yeah, you can't blame them because that time in the late 1970s, disco was very, very, very popular and everybody was getting in on it, even all the rock bands like the Stones with Miss You, Kiss with I Was Made for Loving You, and Blondie with Heart of Glass. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, everybody wanted to get in on it because it was making them money. So it seemed natural that ABBA would have to do the same, even though some of their songs already sound like disco tracks. But this one here, it's just, I don't know, too many synths for my liking and just too disco-oriented. I think if the disco sound or element is removed from it, it would probably be a much more enjoyable album. I have a hard time remembering some of these songs here. As Good as New, I think I liked the title track. My favorite song in here is Does Your Mother Know? That's a very good song. Chiquita, I like. Yeah, this one's okay. Not their strongest, but I think it's probably stronger than their first two. So there's that. 1980, Super Trooper. This is a good album. Much better than Voulez-vous. This has good songs on here. Super Trooper, The Winner Takes It All, On and On and On. It's a good one. Took a while for it to grow on me, but I do like Happy New Year. The Pipers, good fun, and Lay All Your Love on Me. It's also good. 1981, the group releases their last album, The Visitors. I really like this one. I really do. I think if I had to pick my top three, it would be Arrival, the album, and this one. It was actually in 1980, I think. I read this online that the couples had both split up the same year. So, yeah. And they still made music together. That can only last for so long. So, it only lasted for another 2 albums, Super Trooper and this. But the consensus seems to be for this one that this one is depressing. Because they knew it was the end. And I like that. It's like ABBA meets New Wave. Where I was thinking to myself, it's like ABBA came out of a relationship with Joy Division. And they made this album. Title track's very head over heels when all's said and done. One of Us is great. And Slipping Through My Fingers. And this one I have not listened to because it's technically not an album. The bonus tracks. Yeah, not a great album title. This is a bonus disc with all the songs that were not on any album. So B-sides or anything like that. So Fernando and Gimme Gimme Gimme. Those were never on any album, so they were singles only, so those are on here. And the Swedish versions of Ring Ring and Waterloo are also on here. I don't know if I can recommend this for somebody who wants to get into ABBA, because, I mean, you're paying, the price varies from time to time. It could go for $24 if you're lucky, $22, $32, which is around the price that I paid, which I think is pretty good. I mean, elsewhere online, like Amazon, you get it for $40, which I don't know. Yeah, if you want to have all the ABBA albums, go for it.